Welcome to The Lift with Sheila Robinson Kiss. Come on in. There's always a special place set aside for you here where you can relax, kick up your heels, pour yourself a nice, refreshing drink, and prepare to be lifted and soar. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much, and welcome back to The Lift with Sheila Robinson Kiss. We've got it all here: mental health, movement, motivation, the best relationship advice around. So if you're loving what I'm doing, please do subscribe and share the news of the channel with your friends and family. Please don't be selfish. Don't keep it all to yourself. So I want to dive in to our topic today, which was inspired by so many of the notes that I received from you, as well as what's just going on in the world today. Three reasons evil just loves for you to neglect your mental health. And when you do that, be clear. Think about your favorite dish. Is it chicken parm? Leg of lamb? Are you more of a salad, delicious Caesar salad type person? Well, when you don't care for yourself and your self-care, you are serving yourself up. I'm telling you, and you're piping hot. You look delicious. Stop, guys. Don't let it happen to you. This will be my 25th year coming into this year doing this work, and I can tell you what I know beyond a shadow of a doubt. There are so many ways to just leave yourself wide open in terms of not living your best, not feeling your best. I've often wondered, why is it that so many thought leaders, people who are in positions of sharing influence, guidance, what have you, they routinely put mental health over here in this nice, little pot, and then they put the spiritual elements and spiritual realm over here. I'm not going to do that. That really needs to stop. And as far as I'm concerned, it should have stopped long time ago, because they're inextricably linked. It's like taking your car and saying, you know what I'm going to do is just take the engine out. We're just not going to have any brakes anymore. How far do you think you will get? You're not going to get very far, because it makes no sense. It really doesn't. And people say, well, was this individual's mental health compromised and then the spiritual issues started? Or what, were they spiritually compromised and then the mental health issues started? What's first, the chicken or the egg? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We know that they're linked. We know that they're linked, and that's what you need to keep in mind. And I'm also going to ask, with great love, compassion, and respect, I need everyone to stop playing this game that, I don't know, when you think about the evil influences, because I can't see anything. I hear the reports, I hear people talking. Maybe I sense something, maybe I don't. Stop. We need to stop that now. You do see it. Give your prime example, bats. Have you ever heard the term blind as a bat? Bats are almost blind, but they see brilliantly. It's called echolocation. Echolocation. There's more than one way to see. You see with your spiritual eyes, and you feel with your spiritual senses and your physical senses. Stop discounting it, because as long as you do that, you are not going to take the very necessary stance, that strong, commanding, balanced stance that enables you to say, this is my life. No one's going to trample on it, whether it's beings from this world or energies from another world, whether it's Satan himself. You don't get this. I'm a child of God, and this is how I roll. Unless you have that, you cultivate that level of determination, you're that leg of lamb that I'm talking about, just right, sitting right in the middle of the field for the big bad wolf, if you will. So I'm asking you to lean in, because in all these years of providing this service, and the service that I provide, this is a service, everyone. This is my labor of love. Okay, the videos take time. Putting all this to it takes time, but I do it with an open heart and an open spirit. Why? Because I understand the difference. I've taken a walk. I've taken a walk, if you will. I have been I'm intimately familiar with that dark realm. They started screwing with me a long, many years ago, really since I was a kid. And I just didn't have the understanding. As time has gone on, my relationship with Christ has developed. I know what that was about. We know that she has a pathway and a destiny to support people in her life. Let's just make sure she's jacked up so that the people cannot get the nourishment and the support she's put there to give. So this, I'm very familiar is what I'm saying. And when I give you this information, it's not because I read it in a great book, although I've read many of those. This is something I heard. This is from all sides. I've lived it. I've studied it. I've researched it. I've helped people through, that underground railroad, if you will, of degradation. Let me pull you through that. So it's not a Mickey Mouse situation we're dealing with here. So the first piece I want you to keep in mind, evil loves for you to uh, neglect your mental health because it makes you an easy target. Share a story with you. It's really a heartbreaking story. Beautiful lady, some years ago, she comes, um, Sheila, I do, love my husband, love my children. I've been down, depressed. I am in the middle of an affair. And right there, I knew on and on she was compromised. I only saw her one other time because her spirit was so unsettled, she couldn't get the support and information. Sometime later, she comes back. This fog had lifted, desperate for her family, desperate to reunify with her spouse. By this time, the man had moved on. But see, I knew it the first time. She was being manipulated. But let me explain also, if the evil influences and that energy can't get you directly, it'll work someone else to get to you in another way. So this is someone she didn't basically this person had just popped up in her life. Had she been centered, grounded, I know who I am. I may be a little bit stressed out, but I've taken my vows. I'm in a committed relationship. Thank you. You're cute. Thanks, but no thanks. But she was on the floor emotionally, psychologically, spiritually. And before you know it, no pun intended, but she really got caught with her pants down. And this happens all the time. What you have to understand about Satan, his minions, evil influences, whatever name you want to give it, let's not play those games. We all understand we're talking about the same thing, if you will. There is no, we wake up, part of our lives, we may have to drop the kids off at school. We make groceries. There's compassion. Some things make us angry, upset, multidimensional. That energy in its purest form is not multidimensional. There's not little, oh, you're pulling at my heartstrings. Let me stop haunting you and harassing you. It's a missile. It's a one singular programming. It is a seek and destroy mission. You can't reason with it. You can't talk soft with it. You can't massage it. What you can do is cultivate a rock solid relationship with Christ. What you can do is ensure that you are caring for yourself mentally, spiritually, emotionally from the inside out. So when that garbage comes your way, you ain't got nothing coming. You ain't got nothing coming here. So this is the armor, okay? This is the armor that is referred to in Scripture. This is that wall, that hedge of protection. So you're an easy target when you don't have your life resiliency plan developed. And look, there's over 700 videos here on I've got 700 videos to help you build your life resiliency plan. And for those of you who are not on my list, get on my list. Follow that link that says Golden Nuggets, Sheila's Golden Nuggets. If you're not on the list, you didn't get to participate in the free webinar last week on getting past overwhelm. There's a lot. This piece, what you get here is one piece. This is the appetizer. There's a whole dessert main menu. So let's all get in with that. Number two, when you're not taking care of yourself from the inside out, you allow easy access to divide and conquer. Divide and conquer. There are so many people in isolation, people who have been thrown into isolation by circumstances, by dark influences, what have you. And I'm going to tell you, the name of the game for evil is to take you away from anything or anyone that is feeding your spirit, to take you away from anything or anyone who can illuminate your path. Very, very sad story. Sat with a man some time ago, just constantly into it with his family. These are people who just loved him, wanted the best for him, constantly into it. And I just asked him, I said, the things you're describing to me, they've been blown up, but it seems like a lot of this could be resolved with a simple conversation. You've cut them off. You're in isolation all the time. Have you taken a step back to really look at it this way? And then he got really frustrated. You don't understand, all that they've done to me, and this, and on and on. And I can appreciate, we've all been hurt. No one has a perfect situation. But what I was trying to highlight to him, and eventually I did, that you really have a strong pattern of isolation here. And then we started kind of tracing it back and working. When did you start moving away from your family and friends to this such an extent where there's really no one there except one person? Voila. Voila. The one person who was there was his partner, who was extremely possessive, a very much of a toxic influence, and very domineering. And I had to ask the question, have you noticed that there is no one around? Your partner doesn't want anyone around. You have a big family. Could they all be bad? Could they all have just done you so dirty that you don't have time to go to a family reunion? You don't have time to call anyone? Let's look at this for a minute. And I started working with him. And what do you think happened when we really got into it and he was just about to turn that corner? Well, his partner decided, well, I don't think therapy is really doing you any good. I think you need to cut that off. Why? Because I was a lone voice coming in with healing and illumination. You guys, divide and conquer is the name of the game here. Get yourselves out of isolation. You should really be worried. This is a sidebar. You should worry and run like hell if you're dealing with anyone and people that you love start falling off. You no longer have the relationship. One by one, people that you care about are disappearing. Something is wrong. Something is wrong. You will know the tree by the fruit it bears. One thing, my grandfather only made it to the third grade. Very wise man. He would always tell me, would you pay attention when someone comes into your life? You have to pay attention to what happens. If the person is good for you, things are going to blossom. Every parts of your life are going to start to elevate. If parts of your life start to shrink, your soul starts to shrink, your face, the faith, that you have starts to shrink. Your social circles start to shrink. You better step back and ask yourself what's going on. Usually that is to get you separated for purposes of control and manipulation. If that's not evil, if that's not an entry to evil, then you tell me what is. And many times the people who do it, they're also may not understand they're being manipulated. A lot of mental health issues, problems, dark influences in there. But the whole name of the game is to get you compromised. When you are in control of your mental faculties, you know who you are, you've taken care of your mental health, that self-esteem is intact, people can come into your life and it's like, no, I actually do enjoy going out with my girlfriends on Friday night, and you're not going to guilt trip me for that. So, what I'm going to need you to do is straighten up, or I'm going to need to make another assessment. Or you can say, you know what, I've always had a special relationship with my mom and dad, so not gonna skip my holiday dinner with them because you're uncomfortable. So we're gonna need to work something out here. You can discern that and see it up front and stop it in its tracks. As simple as that. The thing about also evil energy, it doesn't want to work for it. It's a lazy energy. It likes the easy target. It's a lazy energy. So when you come up, back straight, you know who you are, you got that all going, it's very intimidating. It's off-putting. It's like, wait a minute, what? You're barking back, you're not afraid, you know who you are, and you'll feel that. So we definitely want to cultivate, when I say social and getting yourself out of isolation, you don't need to have, these people don't have to be your best friends, but you need connector points where you feel a part. I didn't say you need to feel like the most special part, but a part of. Oh, I'm a part of a friendship. I'm a part of my community through volunteering. I'm a part of this world. I'm a part of the life of my pet. That's what I'm going to say. Get yourself out of isolation, because the name of the game is divide and conquer. Most of the people I've worked with who have, whether it's domestic violence or they're just miserable in a circumstance or relationship, there's some element of isolation. I'm going to take you away, or I'm going to inject so much feelings of shame that you isolate yourself. And as soon as you don't feel a part of, it's so much easier for that energy to come in and join you. It enjoins with you. So look, you are a part of, and that's when we're off to the races. You guys, I know what I'm talking about, and I know that those of you who've been with me for a while, you are picking up what I'm putting down, so I can feel that. Number 3, the third element I really want you to keep in mind, this is really key. When you're not taking care of your mental health, it creates a clear path to self-annihilation. What do I mean by that? Self-annihilation. Evil in and of itself, as an isolated force, does not have the power to destroy you. It's not been given that power, because your free will, everything, when we're born on this planet, every single thing is built around the core of free will. So it doesn't have the power. Can you imagine if the dark influences had the power to just come in, hurt us, make us swerve our car off the road? This would this would literally be chaos. There are extreme examples where, things do happen. They happen. It's exceedingly rare. And one of these times I'll make a video to share more about that. But by and large, 99.9999% of the time, everything is operating from that core of your will. Here's the trick. What the dark influences will do They will come in and mess you up and get you so confused and put you at war with yourself, and they put you at war with your humanity, that you will do the work for them, and they will sit back and just, oh, hey, mission accomplished. People do it all the time. I sat with someone um, actually recently, and this individual was suicidal. And when people have reached out to me and they're suicidal, what I don't do is immediately start a pep talk. Oh, come on, you have so much to live for. It's rather insulting, you know. So I say, let's unpack it. Take me through everything A to Z. Why are you feeling like this? How, you know, do you have a plan? When did all of this start happening for you? And this individual said to me, it is a constant, Sheila. I wake up and it's a torture. It's a pull, and it pulls at my soul. You shouldn't be here. It's better if you're not here. None of this is going to get better. And I heard it out, and we wrote it out, and artwork and all that. What does it look like? What does it feel like? And my next question was, is there anyone or anything that you love in this lifetime that would make it worth staying? Yeah, yeah. I love my parents, you know. I have a 12-year-old that I love dearly. Um, my work is not exactly where I thought it would be, but brings me a lot of joy, and there's a lot of potential. And we ended up with this list of like 7 or 8 things that really, hell, these right here, this makes life worth living. And so I wrote on a piece of paper, I said, okay, so over here we have 7 or 8 things that make life really worth living. And over here we have take your life, close the door, you can't open again because what you're doing is permanent. Wow, that's a wide piece of space in there. What do you think is in the middle? And we kind of both looked at each other with a blank stare. And I said, may I offer that um, certainly you have a pull, and you're feeling like I need to do something to get myself out of this life situation and discomfort. But it sounds to me like you want to liberate yourself from the torture, the mental torture, and the feelings that are going along with it. But you're not interested in liberating yourself from your child and your life and this goodie package over here. And we started to unpack that, and it became more and more evident to me, as it has hundreds of times before. The element of mental and psychological torture is almost always present. We can relabel it and say clinical depression and mental illness. Yes, yes, my goodness, that has a place. And yes, that is real. But we often leave out frequently the spiritual dynamics behind it. If you sit and start writing stuff down and putting it on paper and unpacking it and section it off, here you will see clearly, oh my goodness, what if I can get a handle on the torture, the voices in my head, feeling rotten and feeling bad and responding to, I don't even know where this stuff is coming from. If I can get a handle on that, heck yeah, I got a lot to live for. So you guys, I'm telling you that when you don't take care of your mental health, you open yourself up to be, it's almost like that energy comes and takes your hand, and they are just walking you just right there to the edge of the cliff, and they will run you and torture you and work with you, and you say, to hell with it, I'm just tired of hearing this crap, let me jump over. So that I'm not saying this is always the case, with suicide. There's many elements, many complex reasons why someone would be in a position where they entertain taking their life. But I'm telling you, what I'm laying out for you, it happens a lot. It happens. It happens more often than you would think. So thank you, Sheila, so much for giving us this information. What are some of your strategies? Look, one strategy to start with, I have tons of strategies listed here on the platform, but I'm going to tell you something. And that is, be truthful with yourself. Be truthful with yourself. Choose choose the path of elevation and start. Well, Sheila, what am I choosing? I'm choosing in any way that I can, whether that is if what I have access to is my YouTube, I'm going to take a good hard look at what I'm using this platform for, because there's hundreds and millions of inspirational and informational programs about my mental health. I'm going to commit to listening to 2 of those programs a day. I'm going to choose to do that, and I'm going to implement and execute. I am going to choose. I am going to choose to wake up in the morning and not just engage these pop up mornings and get going. No, I'm going to choose to tend to myself before I even get going with the day. I'm going to do my visualization. I'm going to take the 15, 20 minutes to add some shape, texture to my day. I'm going to get in with the things that make sense for me and feel right for me to stay grounded. For me, you guys know how I roll. Prayer is a huge part of my life. It's not a big part of everyone's life. I'm saying you need to pick where you're going to start. For me, I can't, I put it right up there with malpractice if I don't bring you the spiritual elements, because every single thing that I do has been turbo boosted and turbocharged by the positive spiritual elements that are infused in it. And we talk about things like isolation. That is a choice. That is a choice. I'm telling you, I have been physically as alone could be at certain points in my life. I took a journey for many, many years, but there were pieces in that journey that I felt as connected, as protected, as covered, as bonded as anyone who was in a house with 20 people who loved them. Well, what do you think that was? That was the hand of God, because there were many circumstances, but that those resources, as a resource, can come in and support you. The thing of it is, I say to anyone who will listen, the evil side, they are the thugs. They are the thugs and the punks of this world. They come in like pigs, sloppy pigs, just taking over your life without permission, if allowed. Here on the other side, the angelic realm, the divine realm, perfect ladies, perfect gentlemen will not enter in, will not enter into your sacred space, is so respectful that you must ask me. I'm not just going to pop up. Uh, you must ask me. But every single time, you cannot cry out. It is impossible and not be tended to, and not be loved, and not be lifted. And I would caution you, a lot of people cry out, they're tended to, things start to move and happen, but you don't like the packaging. You don't like the way the prayer was answered. You don't like the way that the prayer was answered. When you are dealing in this realm of life elevation, you look at what is given, and there's gratitude and understanding that there's a reason. There's a reason it was packaged this way. In my book, They're Not Coming, which is, thank you very much, available on Audible right now, I write about a situation, a low point in my life, and I was like, God, send me something. It was just a low point. And I got up the next day, and there was a flyer underneath my door. This is when I was in my graduate studies for chicken wings. It was wing special at a place around the corner. I'm like, well, don't want to do anything crazy before I get the wings. And so I went. I kind of accepted that invitation. I met a really, really cool person. Wasn't a romantic interest, but just an amazing friend. And that particular period, I believe that person was sent just to support me a little bit to get over it through this trying time. I mean, yeah, the prayer was answered in the form of a wing special at a joint around the corner, but nevertheless, open your eyes, look for the signs. They are there. And by all means, please take care. Take care of your mental health. Your mental health will take care of you. Thank you so much. Please don't forget to subscribe. I'll be back soon with some more great content. Bye-bye.